Greetings to you. The earth is the Lord's and all that is in it, the world and those who dwell therein. Verse 1 from Psalm 24. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, on the 22nd of September, autumn began. And autumn is a season of color and beauty for us as it blooms into its fullness. One of the sources of color and beauty are gourds. A gourd is in the pumpkin cucumber family. Gourds grow on a vine and yield an amazing variety of hard-skinned, colorful fruit. And we have used gourds in our children's sermons. A number of years ago, I purchased many gourds for church and for here at home. When the gourds had grown soft and winter was beginning, I put those gourds, whole as they were, soft, into a part of our garden. With no help, with no cultivation, I didn't pay much attention. Those seeds sprouted in the spring. Long green vines began to cover everything. By the beginning of August, small yellow flowers were forming beautifully. And by the middle of August through October, we were harvesting gourds. Gourds of a multitude of shapes and sizes and colors. What a miracle. What a miracle of new life and of recreation. So in this fall day in 2020, I'd like to share with you what I would call the parable of the gourds. First, I've learned from gourds the will to live. The will to have life is strong. Without my care, but with God's total care. The seeds sprouted, the vine grows, flowers bloom, and gourds are ripe on the vine. The miracle of life is proclaimed by those gourds. Secondly, the gourds that we harvest are diverse, each one different, each one beautiful, each one so unique and distinctive. The gourds proclaim the wonderful variety of life, the wonderful variety of people, the wonderful variety of God's garden, this creation. And the vines, in a third sense, weave and grow together. There's hardly any room in between. Vine upon vine with flowers and gourds growing together. There's room enough for all, which is to proclaim a true loving community in harmony with each other, living for the good and for the full potential of each other. And finally, this year we put a wire fence around the vine in order to keep them in a part of the yard or garden. As we went to harvest the gourds, we found that one gourd had grown through that fence, as you can see. The beautiful gourd, here are the pieces of the fence, and it grew right through that fence. We cut the fence away and harvested the gourd. From that gourd, I learned that this particular flower, as it became a gourd, faced some obstacles, a hard path. And in spite of those obstacles and the hard path, it grew, it overcame, it thrives in its unique beauty, encompassing the fence that was supposed to contain it. So the parable of the gourds. One is our will to live, God's will to place us here and now to live and thrive. Secondly, we are all diverse, unique, and gifted, and we are one family in God's care. Thirdly, like the vines growing together in a community, we are woven together in a community of God's love. And in that community of love, we are all here to make sure each other thrive and survive. And in life there are fences and there are obstacles. Those fences and obstacles, those diseases or those difficulties do not hinder our growth into becoming the beautiful people of God that God intends. Rather, we can grow into and overcome those obstacles, as this gourd reminds us. May the parable of the gourds give you a sense of how deeply you and we are all loved by God, reminding us that no barrier, no fence, no disease, no challenge will overcome God's deep love for you, God's deep love for us all, and God's profound desire that we all thrive and that we help each other thrive. May God's blessing and love be with you. Amen.